Good evening, Fort Morgan, and welcome to part one of the commencement exercises for the Fort Morgan High School class of 2020.
Hello, my name is Autumn Wheatley. I'm grateful for the opportunity to welcome all of you today and to share a few thoughts. First, I'd like to recognize the school board, our superintendent, Dr. Hammock, our principal, Mr. Good, and all the great staff, both past and present, that represent all of our schools for all the hard work they put in to help us reach this milestone in life. Now I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank all the parents, grandparents, and family members that have helped us reach this important step in life. Hug your parents today. Yes, they will be crying, not because we're all grown up, but they're crying tears of joy. They're tired of paying for us. They want their house back and their car and their lives. Look at them. They used to be young and vibrant, and now we came, and now they are old and tired. They only have a few good years left. Don't ruin it by mooching off them for the next decade. We have all learned important lessons thus far in life, but what we really want to know is what we are going to be. So please let me share with you what I believe to be the most important B's in life. Be kind, be there, be committed, be daring, and the last, yet the most important, be you. Be the best you. The first-rate version of yourself is always better than the second-rate version of someone else. Our time in life is limited, so let's not waste it on living someone else's life. Shakespeare said, "We know what we are, but we don't know what we may become. Make the most of yourself, for that is all there is of you." One of the great things about being in a small school and in a small community is that we all know each other. Like family, we accept each other for who we are and for what we can become. We may have had disagreements and even fights, but deep down, we always wanted the best for each other. I have a favorite saying that I would like to share with you all today. Where one goes, we all go. Where one goes, we all go. No matter where life may take us, always remember that we are all connected. Classmates, our school, our community. We will always be connected and concerned for one another. In closing, to my fellow senior classmates, follow your passion. Stay true to yourself. Never follow someone else's path. Unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you see a path, then by all means, follow that path. A wise man once said, "The secret to success is to show up, speak up, then shut up." And so I will. May the Lord watch over you and keep you safe on this crazy adventure called life.
Hey, howdy, let's get rowdy. My name's Sam, and thank you, Autumn, for your awesome speech. I would also like to thank a couple people. First of all, I would like to thank the community. You have all stepped up to make our 2020 graduation both special and memorable. First of all, thanks to everyone who supported Adopt a Senior by gifting seniors with items to make them feel very special. Thank you to the Bank of Colorado and the Athletic Booster Club for supporting our spring senior athletes and hanging banners in the bank's windows. Thank you to the community members, teachers, and families for surprising every senior with a yard sign set up at the library park. Your actions are truly meaningful. And now, a word of advice for the senior class. A wise man once told me, make the most of the best and the least of the worst. And congratulations, class of 2020. We made it.
Hello, my name is Rachel Creighton, and I am Fort Morgan High School's class of 2020 Valedictorian. I'd like to begin my speech by extending thanks on behalf of the class of 2020. We are so grateful for the outpouring of love and support from the community during these trying times. Thank you to our administration for finding creative ways to celebrate our accomplishments. Thank you to the teachers who have supported us endlessly and worked hard to ease the difficult transition into online learning. Thank you to the friends and families of all the graduates that have been by our side lifting us up for the past 18 years. Without you, we would not be able to take these obstacles in triumph. I'd like to personally thank my parents, family, teachers, and friends for supporting me on this journey to be sitting in my house, recording myself, talk to my phone. So, class of 2020. Despite claiming we had 2020 vision for years, this is not where we saw ourselves to be at the conclusion of our senior year. These are challenging times for us all, and I could not be more proud to be a part of this class. Many of you have shown selflessness and kindness over the past 2 months, and you inspire me to be the best I can every day. Writing this speech, I felt pressure to say something deeply meaningful and moving, but unfortunately, being given the title of Valedictorian does not enlighten one with profound knowledge or advice. So I decided to follow in many of my predecessors' footsteps by sharing a quote that meant something to me and I hope resonates with you. As Meg Cabot wrote in her novel The Princess Diaries, adapted into spectacular films starring Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews, courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important. The brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all. As we move forward in this rapidly changing world, I urge us all to be courageous. It is easy to be fearful of what the future may hold and allow our anxieties to take control. But we must keep the world turning and realize bravery is more important than fear. Take a moment. Allow yourself to feel the effects of what is happening around us, but do not let that hold you back. Take that energy and channel it into doing something good. I like to look at this situation as an opportunity. The world is changing, so let's change it for the better. We face unprecedented challenges such as this pandemic and climate change. The voice of the young is powerful. We must take our future in our own hands and fight for it. Be the change you want to see in the world. Wherever you find yourself in the next stages of life, be brave and fight for change. Big or small, speak up and do good. If you see something you wish were different, be courageous and advocate for that change. Being bold may be scary, but that is how we move things forward. Class of 2020. We've never let these challenges get in our way, so let's not stop now. This is only the beginning. Remember to continue social distancing and wearing a mask when interacting with those outside of your household. But remember, we're lucky. We'll always be Mustangs and have this community as we go on our separate ways. I am so excited to see where we all end up in life. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2020.
Right If you would have told freshman Peyton that she would be giving a salutatorian speech to her class through a virtual graduation ceremony, she would have told you that you were crazy. I've been thinking about how I've wanted to give this speech since my freshman year, and a week ago when Mr. Good called me and officially told me I'd be giving it to all of you, so many ideas formed in my head. I couldn't decide if I wanted to say that everyone is like a crayon, their own individual color. Although some may be broken, we all still color the same. Or if I wanted to tell you that life is a journey, so don't stop believing. I knew I wanted this speech to be something you would want to hear without being cliche. But what did I have to say that hasn't already been said before? So here it goes. The best way I could think of compiling my thoughts into something that might have some kind of meaning to you. Hello, class of 2020. We are no ordinary class. Some may even say we have been doomed from the start. We were born into a very uncertain time for our nation. We have not known anything before 9/11. We have only known an America at war. As we grew up, school shootings became common news. In the 4th grade, some of us experienced the loss of a teacher, Mr. Steve Websock. At a young age, that was our first taste of grief. As we got older and moved into Baker, the 5th and 6th grade, we lost another teacher, Miss Shawn. That same year, the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting made people across the country weep for the lives lost. And the very next year, the Boston Marathon bombing had the nation fearing a terrorist strike. In middle school, we endured the loss of a former principal, Mr. James Farley. As we go into high school, ready to take on the world and finish the last parts of our journey growing up together, President Trump wins the 2016 election, even with rumored Russian tamperings our freshman year. The beginning of our sophomore year, the Las Vegas shooting left the nation heartbroken. In April, we lost the brightest light our class had to offer. April 15th, 2018 will be a day that our class remembers forever. Luis Daniel Narvaez was the smile you'd always see in a crowd, the light that illuminated our halls, and a soul that made our whole world stop. But it is because of him that we grew stronger as a class our junior year and came together to support one another through the unfortunate history made our senior year. The legendary senior year, a time of euphoria, of closing chapters and making memories, has been nothing less than unique. It was this year that we were supposed to have our last sports season, our last day of high school, our last time walking through these halls, our last prom, and our last days together. Instead, President Trump was impeached, wildfires raged in Australia, and our nation experienced the biggest stock market crash since 2008. A living legend and hero, Kobe Bryant, and his daughter Gigi Bryant died in a tragic helicopter crash. And let's not forget, coronavirus has infected the world, leaving us to spend the final days of what was supposed to be the most epic year of high school in our rooms, learning through Zoom meetings and Google Classroom. As a class, we have faced more hardships in the first 25% of our life than most people have experienced in their entire lifetime. Together, we have lost a lot of our senior experiences, leaving us with fear and uncertainty for the future. But it is not all the opposition we have lived through that makes our class so unique and different. It is the enormous amounts of strength, perseverance, and determination our class has already developed. Through everything we have faced as a class, we are still here together, celebrating all we have accomplished. Through all this, we have never given up on each other. We have persisted, becoming the strongest class to graduate from Fort Morgan High School, in my opinion. Will Smith once said, "God places the best things in life on the other side of fear. Fear is a regulator. It separates the strong from the weak, the ordinary from the extraordinary. Don't run from the fears that may come up in your future. Big things can be scary, but if it doesn't scare you just a little bit, is it really worth it? To grow and become everything our potential holds, we have to be afraid and uncomfortable." Sylvester Stallone says in Rocky, "The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. If you want to accomplish everything we all know you can, you have to fail a few times. You can't be afraid of the failures. As a class, we have been given wonderful opportunities to show our strength, to develop the persistence needed to succeed. The world is in the palm of our hands. The journey awaits. So don't back down from the fear and don't stop at the failures. As we look back on the 4 years we have spent at FMHS and the many memories we have made, keep in mind that it wasn't just a class. They weren't just teachers. It was more than just a game or an event. This was the rocky foundation that had to be laid in order to build up who we truly are becoming. Remember the pain you felt and all the character building moments that have left scars. Those are the ones that count. Those are the ones that shape us. So I leave you with this, Fort Morgan High School class of 2020. You may be a broken crayon, but broken crayons still color. This is a wonderful journey, so don't stop believing and don't forget to dream on.
At this time, it is my privilege to present the seniors of the Fort Morgan High School class of 2020.
Ahmed Abdusalam,
Aries Elders Tanner,
Deja Aldama,
Abdimalik Ali,
Ernesto Alvarado,
Jack Alvarez,
Kevin Amaya Reyes,
Felipe Antonio Gomez,
Miranda Arteaga,
Viviana Arteaga,
Carlos Avalos Martinez,
Nash Babkowicz,
Ryan Bain,
Jared Baker,
Javier Paquera,
Amanda Barnett,
Ali Bauman,
Colby Bautista Lopez,
Yasmin Bayardo Garcia,
John Becker,
Carolan Bellis,
Alejandra Beltran Mendoza,
Maya Blanco,
Marissa Bocanegra,
Cameron Bond,
Grace Brenneman,
Alexis Bristow,
America Cabral,
Adam Cardona,
Anastasia Carrillo,
Clayton Carlson,
Andres Castaneda,
Jacqueline Castillo,
Juan Chavez Alvidrez,
Allie Christensen,
Samuel Christensen,
Mateos Coferi,
Elijah Contreras,
Josh Contreras,
Rachel Creighton,
Eric Curtis,
Mackenzie Dabbs,
Bailey Dahl,
Gabriela de Camargo Dilio,
Jesse De Leon,
Wyatt Delanchier,
Jessica De Leon Garcia,
Joanna de Leon Molina,
Pablo Dominguez,
Autumn Edgerton,
Hayden Edson,
Justin Edwards,
Wyatt Eklund,
Jacqueline Espinoza,
Janessa Estala,
Caitlin Fearnot,
Isaiah Flores,
Manuel Flores Ochoa,
Priscilla Francisco Miguel,
Garrett Fritzler,
Jesus Galavis Cano,
Alma Garcia,
Emily Garcia,
Juan Garcia,
Benjamin Garduño,
Noah Getman.
Beatrice Giordano.
Cole Gibbons.
Case Givens.
Harrison Godin.
Alex Gomez.
Natalia Goncharova.
Madeline Gomez.
Lisette Gonzalez.
Julio Gonzalez Lopez.
Audrey Greenwood.
Kelsey Gregg.
Alexandra Guardado.
Noemi Guzman.
Manuel Gutierrez.
Alexis Hall.
Roxana Guerrero Rocha.
Alyssa Harvey.
Wyatt Hawes.
Savannah Hegney.
Amanda Hoffman.
Matthew Holdren.
Marite Hupin.
Leslie Irigoyen Gonzalez.
Sayudamer Ismail.
Sharmake Ismael.
Freddie Jacobo.
Brendan Jones.
William Juan Diego.
Gabriel Cage.
Jana Karsh.
Lauren Keller.
Mikey Kirk.
Giovanni Lara.
Bryant Larson.
Amber Lauk.
Destiny Lester.
Elizabeth Liston.
Francisco Lobatos Loera.
Gemma Longoria Vega.
Noah Lopez.
Leticia Lopez Lucas.
Sitlali Luna.
Elizabeth Mai.
Lionel Luna Carrillo.
Adamari Marquez Quesada.
Daniel Marquez Huereca.
Christina Marsh.
Rebecca Martin.
Nayeli Martinez.
Shane Martinez.
Suar Martinez Maldonado.
Marilyn Matul de Leon.
David McDonald.
Journey Meeks.
Brandon Mejia.
Yasmin Mendez.
Angel Mendez Diaz.
Brianna Meza.
Bradley Miller.
Skyla Minhares.
Harun Mohammed.
Miriam Mohammed.
Mutaz Mohammed.
Andrew Monroe.
Justin Montel.
Elena Montez.
Neto Mota.
Adnan Muhammad.
Ali Muhammad.
Ruby Narvaez Rivas.
Yaslin Narvaez.
Arnulfo Nicholas Hernandez.
Dylan Nipper Moises.
Clementina Numeralungu.
Nicholas Norris.
Laura Orozco.
Nora Osklavek.
Jacob Ortega.
Braxton Parks.
Nasri Osman.
Brian Paxton.
Matthew Piscina.
Destiny Pelton.
Alondra Perez Rivera.
Austin Perry.
Amy Piceno Leon.
Mohammed Kasim.
Sidlali Quiros.
Joshua Ramirez.
Henry Ramirez Garcia.
Elizabeth Ramos.
Jacob Redding.
Luke Brody.
Uriel Ray.
Christopher Riddle.
Jessica Rios.
Giovanna Rivera.
Shiley Rivera.
Jason Rivera Narvaez.
Grace Roberts.
Giselle Rodriguez.
Austin Rosenfield.
Pamela Rowland.
Luis Ruedas.
Andy Salazar.
Salinas Mota.
Juan Salinas Sanchez.
David Serenana.
Christopher Schneider.
Catherine Shoemaker.
Austin Sharp.
Samuel Shaver.
Joey Shirtliff.
Fatuma Siraj,
Peyton Smith,
Jocelyn Soto,
Samuel Swope,
Pete Trujillo,
Alice Guamahoro,
Litzy Ugarte Chavarria,
Jorge Valdez,
Alondra Valles,
Desiree Vasquez,
Alonzo Vasquez,
Luis Velasquez Mendiola,
Sarah Vicente,
Josue Vicente Chuk,
Ellen Vicente Orona,
Colby Von Felt,
Marie Villarreal,
Jace Wagner,
Melody Watson,
Autumn Wheatley,
Lincoln Wickham,
Emma Wolf,
Zane Wolfswinkel,
Hello, and thank you all for tuning in tonight. Our parents, guardian, grandparents, siblings, distant family, and community members. Thank you all for making the time to be here with us tonight. Faculty and staff at Fort Morgan High School, thank you for all the behind-the-scenes work that went into the past 4 years. None of it went unappreciated. I would especially like to thank teachers Mr. Paul Girk and Mrs. Adriana Nickel. Some people are natural-born teachers, and that's you two. Thank you both for seeing things in me I never saw in myself. Teachers like yourselves really make this world go round. And a huge thank you to my family, especially my crazy parents. And I only call them crazy because they were crazy enough to support me in everything I did. Look, Mom, I made it. And lastly, a huge thank you to the graduating class of 2020 of Fort Morgan High School. I know for a lot of students, graduation may feel like something that's always bound to happen for you, but the truth is there's also a lot of you who fought tooth and nail to be where you are today. Whatever the situation and obstacles you had to face, just know that I'm proud of all of you. And it's okay to celebrate yourselves and to slow down for a little bit and savor your success. We all deserve it. So with that, congratulations, class of 2020. We finally made it. When I was presented with the opportunity to give the farewell speech at our commencement ceremony, I hesitated, mainly because I didn't want to be caught crying by you, your families, and now all of YouTube. But I was also hesitant because what do you tell a group of kids that deserve so much more than what they received? As we look back on the past 13 years of our lives, the memories, the laughs, and the tears we've shed, remember that you made those. You took the time and the effort to stand out for special moments, and you really be present with whoever was lucky enough to share those moments with you. Take the next couple of days to think back on your life and really reflect on how you lived it. What did you enjoy? What will you remember? And what will you take away? Most people will take the bonds and friendships they've made because it's not so much the things like the Pythagorean theorem and American literature are not important, but it's more because we tend to remember things like who taught us the Pythagorean theorem and the kid who was sitting in the desk next to us when we learned it. And I'm sure most of you right now are scrambling your brains trying to remember what the Pythagorean theorem is, but don't worry, I can't remember either. Sorry, Mr. Krackemeyer. The point I'm trying to make is we'll always have each other in our memories. Whether they're famous stories like when a classmate of ours called 911 in the 6th grade because none of us really knew the consequences it had, or when we lost a spirit stick our senior year and despite the devastation we felt, we were still kind enough to let the juniors sit on our float because no one deserves to be left behind. Yeah, I saw that, and I was a pretty proud class president that day. Or even when we were all genuinely ready to invest in the careers we were given after our trip to Willamette town. These are just examples of some of the things we'll take away with us. And whether you remember these stories or not, I'm sure you made some memorable ones yourself. People are always talking about how once you leave high school, it never really matters again, and you'll probably forget everything by your 10-year reunion. And that may be true, but I feel the class of 2020 had some pretty memorable 4 years. I mean, seriously, you're looking at your commencement speech through a link on YouTube. That's pretty hard to forget. So despite the fact that we're all going to forget, some sooner or later, it doesn't take away the fact that what we're feeling and thinking matters to us now. Because we're not 10 or 5 years in the future, we're in the now. So the anger, bitterness, and sadness that I know you all feel deep down, because it's really hard to ignore nowadays, is okay to feel. Just know that I feel exactly the same way, because we were stripped of something so meaningful and great. Along with these great memories, our class was also hit with traumatizing ones as well. Our sophomore year was definitely a ride in itself. We all lost a classmate to whom most was a friend and a selected few was a brother. Daniel Navarez was most definitely a special human being. His kind heart could make anyone feel welcomed, and his words and humor could always quickly remind you to never take life too seriously. With a smile so contagious, it was hard to be mad or sad around him. Always a class clown, that guy. I feel honored and blessed to have been his friend. Losing someone so suddenly, the way we lost him, took a toll on all of us. But I feel we honored him in the best way possible, coming together. Our class has been through a lot, but despite the challenges and heartbreak, it's never torn us apart. In fact, that's my favorite part about our class. It's always seemed to find the light in even the darkest of things. And that's just what we're going to continue to do, because that's what we know how to do best, is coming out of these crazy situations 10 times better. Don't get me wrong, I know we're in the midst of a pandemic, and it seems like the world is only getting crazier by the day, but none of this defines us in any way. We know better than to be brought down by the things we have no control over. Think of it as a revolution. The world is crashing and burning, and we get to be the ones to rebuild it. We're still the next generation up to bat. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to bring up bats. But in all seriousness, the world is still our oyster, and nobody can take that from us. Be the change you crave so much. This is a perfect time to reinvent yourself. And if you choose a different route, that's going to be okay too. There are still a lot of lessons to be learned out of school, life ones at least. So always remember to keep an open mind, a high reflecting energy, and to always be kind and patient with yourself, the ones around you, in the process. Because as if the world wasn't already scary enough to enter without being in the midst of a pandemic, where there's no toilet paper and Walmart is finally starting to enforce their enter here and exit here policy, there's no sense in worrying so much about the little things anymore. Because there's always going to be bumps along the highway of life, potholes one might say. Just do what we've always done in the route of change and move with the motions, because it is in the moment of change where we cherish the little things that make our memories so sweet, each other. Learn to cherish those you love. Remember that tomorrow is always going to be a new day and a new chance and an even better story to tell, so make it yours. Seniors, just know it's okay to be feeling whatever you may be feeling right now, and it's even okay to not be sure of what you're feeling. We're literally being written in the history books as we speak. On that note, I must say to always be fearless in the face of uncertainty, because that's just life. You can never really predict what it's going to throw at you. So allow yourself to savor the moment when you're already in it, to be present with the ones around you, and to always love the brighter side of life. Farewell, class of 2020. Cheers to a new tomorrow.